Hello and welcome back to Market TV Show. We got a big move today in the market. The entire market was down big. S&P was down about 1%. Tech was down 2.61%, and Dow Jones wasn't down as much, but tech was the big loser here today. Let's take a look at all the usual stuff that we look at, all the indices, small caps, gold. We'll take a look at oil as well, along with the sectors and the FANG stocks. So take a look at SPX here. I've been eyeing SPX for a long time now, and when you see, when I was watching the price action last night, when it was running up and it failed, right? uh, Started to fail right here, and then a big drop around 5 a.m. And that was a red flag. I was hoping that it would continue to the upside, so we can get another overbought area on the hourly. But that didn't happen, and I was watching a wedge actually on the 1 hour here. See if I connect the tops and the bottom. You can see that pretty clearly like that. That's a rising wedge that's usually break to the downside. And I was hoping for that one more kick up, but we didn't get it. We actually broke to the downside. Look at where we bounced off at the 200 period moving average. Three times. You see those three wicks there, and then now we're moving up on an after hour. Looking at the bigger picture here, though, let's go to the 4 hour to get more data. We're still in an uptrend. You see, as long as we're above all the moving averages, we're still in an uptrend. Big down day for sure, but it was nowhere as big as, say, this day or this day, right? Put that into perspective. Um, Put that also another trend line here. Did we break it? No, we came right down to it, almost hit it, and then reversed. Not to say that we can't break tomorrow, and we're gonna look at why there's a good chance for that too, because the tech is deteriorating, and it's the lead and that's the sector that's been leading the market up. So depending on how we trade tomorrow will be a very, very big tell, and we also have to take a look at how we close on the week. If we close on the week bearish, kind of creates like a red candle with a long tail at the top, a shooting star, and we get follow through next week, then we probably get more sell side activity and test this orange line right here, the 3020 area. That'll be the very first stop. All right, let's take a look at Qqq Nasdaq here, the big loser today. And remember, I was mentioning how we haven't tested the green line for a while now. And then today was the day, boom, in one swoop. Not like here, not like here. Oh, this almost hit it in one day. But when you zoom out, you can see the green line, the 20-day has been good support throughout this entire bull run. Right now, we're right at it again. We're testing it again. Are we going to see another bounce back up? I think so. Maybe it's the likely scenario, more likely. However, it's not as likely as back then because tech has been moving so high so quickly. Correction is due, and we look at the individual stocks, you'll see why. Take a look at Dow Jones here, closing down for the day at negative 1.31%. Didn't quite make it above the last high here. Unlike the other two indices, this is definitely within this first move down, and this is trading within that first big move that we had back in early June. And if we break to the downside, we're most likely going to break through all these moving averages, and then bears would have the edge if that's the case. But we'll see what happens. IWM and small caps surprisingly didn't go down with the rest of the market. It's been holding up above the 200-day. My guess is that there's some money rotating into the small caps. out of big tech here. However, definitely not moving the market up yet, and it usually doesn't um, go off on its own. Usually goes with the rest of the indices. So kind of peculiar here. If the market goes back up, this will be probably one of the sectors that would show the give you the most bang for your buck, because it is has been consolidating to the right for so long, and it's just a few percentage above to hit the it has to go to break the last high back in June. Take a look at the sectors here. Let's start with biotech. Biotech um, came down, hit support, still on a bullish trend with negative divergence, lower highs on RSI with higher highs on the price. Um, if we break to the downside, first support, orange line. XLV, the healthcare sector, looking toppy here. You see how a little bit selling, more selling in these two trading sections, and then even more selling here today. Sooner or later, we're going to have a swing down, and the first target will be the green line right there, about 3.5%. So that's looking weak. XLF, the lagging sector, one of the more important ones, the financials, has not moved up yet. You know, the market needs the financials to move up along with tech. If we can't break to the upside, then we risk going down, hitting the moving average here, the two dual support. If we break that, we're going to test this minor support here. If we break that, we're going to continue the downtrend, the bigger downtrend, because this is the big sell-off, and then this is the retrace of the sell-off. If we break this price here, then we're going to challenge this low, and we're going to challenge that March low. Technology, the biggest sector, works and moves like lockstep with QQQ, is right on support. And if we break lower tomorrow, then that gives it a sell signal. And we solidly close underneath with a red bar here. Early next week, I expect it to come down here to the orange line before a bounce, and we'll see what it looks like from there. Amazon looking bearish at the top. You see how we been doing mostly selling up here, and we've fallen right to support. If that support breaks, the next support is around 8.5% away, pretty far, and this is well a lot of trading here too. So that will be the first stop. Apple was very notable. You see how Apple didn't hit the green line like the other indices and the other symbols, and until today, and it went underneath it and closed underneath it. Really bearish on this one. Definitely one of the weaker FANG stocks now. They're breaking down individually. You see, first it was Netflix. Netflix was the first to come down, closing below the green line. And then it was Amazon, starting to break down. And now Apple. Take a look at Facebook. Facebook right on support. Last time we were on the orange line, we came down and it was rocketed back up. Are we going to do the same thing? We could. Let's look at Google about this. Also negative divergence building. Equal highs with the RSI, but higher highs for price. Stronger hasn't hit the green line, the 20-day yet. Microsoft, weaker among the FANG stocks, and it's closed like Apple, closed below the green line, right? So Apple and Microsoft are the two of the biggest companies in XLK and QQQ. So if these two aren't doing well, the rest of the market can't go up without them because they're one of the biggest stocks in the indices, the biggest weighted. And take a look at the sell volume today. See how the volume has just increased for that. And for a security to have real downside move, we need to see high volume, and that's what we saw today. Tesla, not a FANG stock, but the crowd favorite, had a big move down today. First is after earnings started around 1675. That's where open, came down about at one point about 12%. Yeah, about 12%. Came back up down 5% to close the day, above all the moving averages. Technically still bullish, right? However, like the other ones that we've been other symbols we're looking at, there was like Amazon, right? More selling activity now starting to emerge, and the selling has gotten stronger for the past 3 days. So very difficult to hold long here if you're long. We do still have a chance to bounce back up, of course, and right now the futures are moving up, right? Just right on support. Do we move up tomorrow? And look at how oversold we were today. So a bounce, a kickback rally is definitely favored here. Maybe we come back up and test this 10745 on the Nasdaq before we continue down. But if we can't break this level of support, I'll say about this area, then kind of this area too. That's another 2% away. Then we open the door for a much bigger sell-off until we hit around this area here. That's about 5% away. It could happen really quickly. So really good, really prepare ahead of time. Let's take a look at gold. Gold made a huge move today. If you haven't been following gold, gold is very close to doing a double top and hitting its all-time high back in 2011. Once we break that, we're going to make a new all-time high, expect big headlines. However, notice the negative divergence here, very clear. RSI making lower highs and price making higher highs. I expect some sideways correction like this soon, or something like this. Something big like that, kind of like a zigzag downward before moving higher. Yeah, as long as we are above all the moving average, we're still in the bull market. Another thing I want to point out here is oil. Oil is very notable, a very clear divergence. If there's any divergence, this is the clearest one in my eyes. See how we're making lower highs here, price making higher highs ever so slightly now. You can even kind of do that, higher highs, right? Divergence. And notice how we are pinched between resistance and support. The green line has been tested just once, well, twice here, 2 times here, came back up, but we sold off a little bit there, sell off again here. And if oil starts to move down again and close below the 20-day, we're going to have a quick move down to the about 12% away. And keep in mind, oil has made a huge move down recently. Recently, as in months ago, where we went negative, right? So big move with the stock market around March, around 80% drop, and that's huge. And with oil, especially with futures, big moves that once in a lifetime. See, look, that's the entire, almost the entire history. Well, a good amount of the history since 2004. And so we've been making lower highs ever since then. Unlikely that we're going to make and we're going to break that high, but if we do, then that changes the long-term trend. That's still about 65% away. I suspect that we're going to come down find support and do some consolidation before we have an opportunity to break up. Otherwise, notice how the candles are getting smaller and smaller. Momentum is waning to the upside, right? And right now it's trading lower, just ever so slightly. So one ticker you can use to take advantage of this, if you trade ETFs, I think SCO, this is a good one. I think this is a short ETF of the oil. UCO is the other side, the long side. All right. And that's it. That's all I wanted to cover today. Good luck with your trading and happy trading. Make money. If you found this helpful, please give me a like and let me know what your thoughts are. And if there are any markets you want me to take a look at, I'll definitely take a look and let you know my thoughts. See you.